Axel and Danny this time. So, Danny, introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you do? And what's up right now?
All right. Well, I'm Danny, and I film for Strength Camp YouTube.
Right.
Yeah. So basically, what I do is I capture everything that goes on at Strength Camp gym, and I bring it to life, and I put it on YouTube. Right.
So basically, there's some knowledge you have to film those videos, you know, to make all the edits, and in my eyes, you have some sort of a different view on the world, right? Because you see the angles sometimes that other people might not see. So how do you get that knowledge?
Well, honestly, I'll tell you what I was doing before I was working with Elliot and Chris in Strength Camp is I was just bartending, and they would come through all the time. And I took pictures here and there, and I had filmed a couple like skateboarding videos when I was like younger, but I wasn't a videographer. I didn't know videography. I've always had an eye for like what looks cool, like, you know, design and stuff like that. So I just started making videos, and he liked them, and Chris liked them, and we just went from there. So I didn't know anything about it. My mindset was just, I know I can do it. So I went through and I just did it, you know what I mean? And it worked out good.
Do you feel passionate about this? Like, do you feel like you could do this forever, and you can even, you know, give lessons or something like that?
I'll tell you what, man.
People?
Sometimes I feel like I feel like a technician. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm doing things that need to be done, not necessarily because it's my choice. So there's a line, but every time I finish something, even if I don't feel like doing it at the time, it's always a great feeling. You know what I'm saying? Like when I finish something and I look at it and I can go back through and I can fix a couple things here and there, I'm definitely passionate about that. So like, I would say anybody who has a passion for something, they might not know it, because I didn't know it. I wouldn't have known that. Like I didn't go, man, I want to be a videographer. I want to film and create movies, videos. I never said that my entire life. But until I tried it and saw the finished product and felt it a few times is when I actually learned that I am passionate about that stuff.
So in a way, you didn't know this world at all, like
no.
Okay, but sometimes, you know, you edit all over and all over. I saw Elliot editing his videos a couple days ago, and he went through the same beat over and over, and to me it got annoying, right? Like, you know, the same track all over. He skips it like all the time. Is there any part of your job that gets annoying sometimes, and you're like, oh damn, I hate this part, like, but you know, you feel like you have to go through this?
I love the process, honestly. The process is great. I like stuff like that. I like stuff that puts you in a trance. So repetitive things, you know what I'm saying, kind of put you in a trance over and over. The only thing that stresses me out about my job is technology. Basically, when you do something like video editing or like sound engineering or, you know, web design, you're at the mercy of technology. So like, if there's a hiccup in the technology, if it's going slow, if it's lagging, if it's something's not working correctly, that's the stuff that stresses me out. It's not the process. If I didn't have the burden of, you know, rendering time, which is in, you know, video lingo, is waiting, basically. If I didn't have that,
right,
it would be so amazing. That's the only part of it that I don't like. You know what I'm saying? I like the over and over sounds and like going back and checking it out and then it not being correct, so moving different pieces and putting the pieces together. I've created whole videos before with cuts of footage and it didn't seem right, and all I did was move around 2 clips like 10 seconds and it was perfect. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So like, I love that stuff. I love fitting the pieces together, and it's not just putting pieces together. You can take all the best shots of anybody in the world. If you don't put them together correctly to where it flows, it's not gonna be as good as it could be. And I like finding that sweet spot, you know what I mean?
So, looking back at your work, what you have done, is there maybe some short clip, big clip, whatever clip you have edited that you could say, this is my favorite clip and I'm very proud of it?
No, I'm hard on myself. I'm hard on myself. I haven't gotten to that point yet.
Like all your
I haven't gotten to that point yet. I would show people certain things, but I would never go, this is...
Or like for in your cart, like this is my favorite.
Nah, I don't have that yet.
You have it?
Nope.
It's
I don't have that
still
yet.
up to.
I'll get it. I'll find that one clip that's close to my heart, but nothing right now.
Okay.
Everything is a new journey for me, so like I don't get attached to shit. Like I know people that always go back and they always look and they look at stuff from the past and they're like, oh man, I can't believe, man, look at this shot I got. I really am all about like getting more, better. I'm a little bit hard on myself, and honestly I do love the stuff that I do, and I love all the stuff that I made, and I don't regret any of it. But if anything, I look back at almost everything and go, I could do better.
You can do better, right?
Everything.
Yeah. I still like,
even if it's good.
Still like the video that you did. What it was Wednesday, that 15-second clip. It was like, you know, I was on the workout and I was like, damn, I should do more better stuff. And like Marquise had a lighter medicine ball and he threw it higher. And I was like, damn, I hope Denny doesn't get a bad shot of me, but it still was good.
It looks good. Yeah, you look good, man. I wouldn't put it in if it doesn't look good. And that's the thing, is I don't overthink it. I just make it.
Yeah. So you talk about your journey, how you've been through, so on, so up until this point. So also, what are your future plans? What do you think? You know, what do you want to achieve? You said like you will have this one video that, you know, it will happen, like that one video.
Yeah.
You look at your favorite video, but are there any goals you want to set and want to achieve?
The thing with like the production industry and stuff like that is always about like new toys, you know what I mean, and like new production equipment and better quality and like better sound. So like I could say that I just want to have top-notch stuff that anybody in the world can look at and go, that's good, even professionals.
Right.
So that's a goal, you know what I'm saying? But that goal just takes money, really. I mean, I got the skill, but it's really like the production equipment that you have behind the skill. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah. I can still make stuff that touches people's heart, but people that look at it aesthetically might, or like the quality of it, might not think is that, you know what I mean? That might be all they're looking at. So you got to please everybody. And I would like to find that one thing that I can make that just nobody can say anything about it. You know what I mean?
You mentioned equipment and stuff like that. I know more about, like, I see how the phones are, like iPhone 5, 6, you know, they go on, and sometimes people like laugh about it because like the phone is the same, it's just bigger, you know, taller. And does it happen to your, you know, your programs that you use,
yeah,
or something, like, you know, it's almost the same, but it's
you got it. That's what I said
better.
about, yeah. I mean, you have to stay up.
Seems like ridiculous, right? So,
right. I mean, you can make good stuff. I can make something that would be amazing on a camera from 2005, but it's only amazing to people that appreciate it for what it is. It's not, you know what I mean? So like, but yeah, cameras and all kinds of production. Now they have these cameras, bro. They're like 3D, and they not just 3D. They're like 360 3D. So it's like, right, you know what I'm saying? You can watch it like and move around, and then you can see as you move around. It's like interactive. You know what I mean? So there's all kinds of new technology coming out all the time. So it's hard to keep up with it. But
let's switch on something else. I see maybe the people hadn't seen the guitar. Can you talk about your other passion, music?
Nah, I mean, my music endeavor is kind of on hold. So I started about 3 years ago in a band. I mean, I've been playing music my whole life, but I got serious like 3 years ago. And I was with a band. We played, you know, some Warped Tour dates. It's kind of a heavier band. It's called Not Tonight, Josephine. We played some Warped Tour dates. We played, you know, we toured a bunch of times. It was cool. There's no money really to be made unless you're at a really high level, and still, even when you're at the highest level in our genre, it's not much money to be made. So I had an opportunity to, you know, go deeper into strength camp, and I chose that just because I didn't feel, and that's always been my passion. This is crazy because my passion, the only thing I ever wanted was to like make it big, or not big, but just like make it in the music industry,
right,
with the type of music that I liked, and be respected, and I always had an image for myself. And I had that hard, and I could have done it. I don't necessarily think it would have been that hard. I don't think there was that much more time. Maybe even by now we'd be at that respectable point that I wanted to be. But I had a point. I had a fork in the road, and I looked at it because I was with my band, and we were doing good. We had momentum, and I also had this thing called strength camp that has always just been for money. I did it because I needed to.
Right.
I did it to, you know, but I gained friends. I gained, you know, Elliot as a friend, Chris as a friend, all the people from strength camp as a friend. I was in a community, right? Which I also had a community in my band, and we were moving forward together. But there was so much friction in this. Like, I was grinding to do what I needed to do. I was pushing through thick, you know what I mean, atmosphere to get this, and it wasn't pleasant. You know what I mean? It was always fights with each other. It was disagreements, agreements, because when you're passionate about something, you have a strong opinion about it. So everybody has strong opinions about it, and it was hard, and we did it, and we could still have done it, but I have no regrets for choosing the path that I did, because there was still substance to this. You know what I'm saying? There was substance to this, and I got what I needed out of it, and it flowed. Everything was happy. I've never had a bad experience. Never had a bad experience on this side. Right. And it was just, it was littered with bad experiences over here. And I don't want to say that I'm a better person for choosing what I did, because I almost feel like I could have just dropped everything and been, you know, hard ass and went hard and did it and then got it. But I really didn't see. I thought really, really hard. And I didn't think, even if I did get to that point, that I would be happy. You know what I'm saying? Even though that's what I wanted forever, there was just so much tension in that part that I don't think I would have. I wasn't doing it for the right reason. Right, yeah. Like, I wasn't doing it for the right reason. I was doing it because, like, I want to go hard. I want everybody to know me. I want to, like, fuck girls. I want to fucking just, you know what I'm saying? I want to fucking be famous and, like, be this person that I was just not necessarily not meant to be, but it was just too hard. It was too much of a grind.
Like, sometimes it felt unnecessary, right?
Yeah, it felt just unnatural.
Right.
So I chose this.
But do you think about, like, maybe someday returning to music and in a
yeah, but not as hard as
other
that.
Shape or form?
Yeah, but I would never go that hard again.
This is like more so like a advice for somebody else. What do you think? How could somebody choose the right path, like you did?
Yeah,
like you did. You had these two options. You could have gone one way or the another way. So what could be the guidelines for somebody to choose between two paths? Versus
it's easy. It's so easy. The answer is so easy, but it's so hard to actually do. I would recommend some sort of disconnection from everything. If you're really gonna make a turning point decision in your life, especially like I was 24 years old, and this was my life. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm having a baby now. Like, my son will be born in 2 months, and there's a point where, like I said, I was 24, that I went this way, and now I'm having a child. I'm happy with what I do. I still get to, like, you know, live with my passion. Or I could have went the other way, where right now I'd be probably like just getting hammered every day, partying, living the life, and just like fucking girls. You know what I mean? So, like, if that's what you want to do, you have to disconnect yourself. Because some people, that's what they do, and they do great at it, right? But some people, it's not meant for some people. So, like, what I did is I sat down and I meditated. Like, we did a thing, like, at 5:30 a.m. I did it with Elliot. And this just happened to be, like, I didn't choose to do this. This is just something that happened to happen. It just happened. He was doing a 21-day meditation where you get up and it's an Osho active meditation. So this just happened to fall into my turning point. I was like, okay, I need to do it. So I went and did it, and it wore me out so much, and it put so much, it disconnected me. It disconnected me from my everyday life, because I was so involved in this meditation. So as I was involved in this meditation, and it was all I was thinking about, I could look above what I usually think about. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So I had my mind...
kind of took yourself out of the...
I took myself out of what I normally am fighting over.
So a different perspective.
Right. It took me into a different perspective. And I thought about it, and I'm like, nah. I'm like, I'm over it. I'm over it. And it just happened to work out too, because I ended up talking to the band, and another kid had an offer to go to another thing, and that's what he needed to do. Like, that's his life, and he's doing great. And he, you know, he's doing what he always wanted to do.
You mentioned you meditated, Elliot. What's besides the meditation is the best thing you have learned from Elliot? You said.
The best thing I've learned from Elliot.
Yeah.
Elliot has he's got a way of like teaching you stuff without even you knowing that you're learning it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It just kind of rubs off on you.
An example.
It's weird because like when you think of learning, you think of listening, understanding, and using it.
Yeah.
Elliot has a way of just like embedding it in you without you even knowing. It just starts to become something that you do. So like just being around Elliot and the way that he is, he's just really open-minded. He's very in touch with what's going on around him and like how it affects him. It's not like a set thing that I've learned. I haven't learned like, oh, he taught me how to tie my shoe. That was a handy one.
Yeah. The 1 year anniversary at the strength camp is about to be soon, like tomorrow, I guess. The party is about to be. So, what do you think is the future for the strength camp? Because you're part of the strength camp family, community, and what do you think? How do you see the future of strength camp? Let's say 2 years from now, or even more, if you see.
Here's what is cool about strength camp. Is strength camp has always been like, it's always stood out as a little bit different. It's always been very unique. You know what I'm saying? And I guess in the real mainstream world, you'd call that mainstream, or you'd call that there's two different parts. There's like the mainstream, and then there's like the hipster kind of like underground style. And I feel like strength camp's always been that. You know what I mean? It's got more depth to it. So, and it's grassroots is exactly what it is. It's grassroots, and that's becoming more popular. Like the individual style, like grassroots movement. You know what I mean? Stuff that really has substance. And strength camp has substance. It has layers. You know what I mean? Like when you go to a place and you're with it, you know what I mean? If you go in there, it's gonna be what you expect it to be. Like you go into a lot of gyms and it's just like, yo, it's a bunch of kids working out. It's a workout community. But this just has so much more layers. This is like, it's everything. You know what I mean? So I think the future of strength camp will turn into a mainstream, because stuff like that is getting more popular. People are starting to see through the they're starting to see through the bullshit. Seth Godin says it the best. He says that there's the grassroots stuff, and then it gets on to, you know, the hipsters, and then the hipsters are also the sneezers, and the sneezers put it on everybody else, and then like it's cool for everyone like 7 years later. You know what I mean? Like you look at joggers.
Right.
I'm using that as an example because joggers were really underground, and everybody was wearing them. Only like a certain group of people in certain places were wearing joggers, like, you know, eight years ago.
Yeah, for example, I remember I was like running on the streets like for conditioning and competitions like in 2007 and stuff like that, and now like it's like mainstream.
Everybody has them, right? Everybody has them, right? Because it's a ladder, dude. So I think strength camp is also that ladder, and I think it has potential to be huge. And we're breaking into new territory as we speak. Okay, and you're gonna you lose. Here's the thing with that. It's just like it's a heavy metal band. Like Bring Me the Horizon, for instance. When you start out and you're heavy metal, I'm using this as an example. You start out, you're heavy metal. You're heavy, and you're in it for the heavy music. You're in it for the community of the heavy music and the vibe and like that lifestyle. Okay. As you do that, you gain a lot of grassroots fans that are in it for that, and they love you. No matter what you put out, as long as it's that genre, they love you. And you're that way of life, they love you. And you get that clean. It's like a gang. Okay? So you gain a lot of members from that. You gain a lot of followers from that. If you try to break out, you start losing members. It's called selling out. And I'm not saying that strength camp is selling out at all, because that's
It's
not
just
really
changing.
what people do. That's just a name that people that are too scared to grow put on it. They're scared to grow themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So they put a name on it. They go, they want
They want to attach themselves to one.
Yeah, because a
version.
lot
They
of
don't want
times
to
that
develop.
grassroots stuff is all talk about struggle. You gain grassroots fans from talk of struggles. You're feeling the pain, you're feeling the struggle with that brand or that person or that band or that strength camp or, you know, that person. So when that person starts to grow into what helps everybody, you know what I'm saying? Sharing with everyone, not just the strugglers. Start sharing with everyone, something a little bit for everybody. They call you a sellout. When really, you're just trying to grow because you're past the struggle. You're not struggling anymore. So why am I going to sit there and struggle with you? If you haven't got off your fucking feet with me, then that's fine. I'm not going to turn my back on you. I'm still here for you, but you're turning your back on me.
At that moment.
You're turning your fucking back on me. Okay? And they call you a sellout when really you're just growing. You can't fucking live in the dirt forever. You know what I'm saying? I can't fucking make music about all my hard fucking bullshit life when I've been doing that for years and now my life isn't fucking bullshit. I've grown. You know what I'm saying? So if you want to call it that, then that's fine. You just keep calling it that and you'll never grow.
Right, you mentioned struggle and of course developing and growing. Like for example, you mentioned the songs like I had the songs about struggle, and then you know people like make songs not about the struggle anymore, like about their current life.
Yeah, you make a pop song or something similar,
right?
And you're fucked.
So what would you say is was your biggest struggle in your life, and what is your pop song like your biggest achievement, like the contrast, like what is your biggest struggle and what is your biggest achievement in your eyes? It could be a spiritual thing, it could be anything, like a material thing.
The reason I even talk about that is because I could easily be that person. I could easily, because I enjoy the feeling of that struggle. It's weird. A lot of people know what I'm talking about. They might not. I know, right? They might not know what I'm talking about, but they felt it before. Especially the people that say other people sell out. They enjoy struggling. They love self-loathing. They don't necessarily know they do, but that's what makes them who they are. So you have to break out of that. So I would say I still love the struggle. I still love music. I still listen to music because it's deep to me. I love listening to it. You know what I'm saying? Like I listen to heavy music, and a lot of it is fucked up. You know what I mean? Like fuck this world, fuck myself. You know what I'm saying? But as far as like the opposite spectrum of it, my one thing I think I would call it's not necessarily my song, you know what I mean, but it's the light to my darkness, is my child that's gonna be born. You know what I'm saying? Like I've struggled and I've loved this music about struggling and the feeling about struggling, and now I see the opposite side. You know what I mean? I see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm gonna grow just as the world is growing around me. I'm gonna grow with it. I don't want to resist it. You know what I'm saying? So I take it as it comes.
So you basically, I would have asked you, what would be your advice for somebody else? But I think your example was a good advice in itself. So one last question would be, if you could time travel to yourself and talk to yourself like for a moment, what advice you would give you to yourself? Like any time, like any age, for let's say for a limited time, you can go to yourself, back to you and say something. What would it be and what time it would be?
I would teach myself a skill. I would teach myself the skill of putting on a fake smile, being fake. I would tell myself to be fake. I would tell myself, don't always hate what you hate. I would tell myself, yo, who are you? Are you that guy? Is that really what you want to do? You want to go fucking destroy everything in the world just to show people that you can? Is that what you feel like doing? And I would let myself answer, and I'd go yes or no. And whatever I would say, either yes or no, I would go, okay. Well, if that's not really what you feel like doing, if you don't have the energy for that, then be positive about everything that happens in your life. Because if you, like I said, if you sit in the back of the class and you fucking hate it, but you still don't do shit about it, you just say you hate it and you're not doing nothing about it, then you're gonna fucking do shitty.
Yeah.
And you can put that into any perspective. Just like if you're a parent, you're having a kid and you're pissed and you hate it, you're like, damn it, my life is over. Then you're gonna fucking be a bad parent and you're gonna fucking hate it. But if you take a second and go, yeah, you know what? This is good, and you think of all the good things that could come from it, and you tell yourself that story, you're gonna do great. You're gonna do great at everything you do. So I would tell myself that. I would go, yo, pretend that you love it, and pretend that you are gonna do great at it. Even if you fucking know that you're gonna do shitty, just pretend that you're gonna do good. Not only will you surprise yourself, other people will fucking love you. You will be so fucking popular. You will not only be popular, you will be hated. You will be envied by people. Because it's so hard to do, but it's such a simple concept. Just to be positive.
Yeah. Just because people want to always see that negative.
I would tell myself to be positive.
No, why so positive?
People want other people to loathe with them. People want other people to crash and burn with them. That's just how it is, because it's easy to do that. It's so hard to be positive. And if you can fucking do it, especially when you're a kid and you have all those emotions and all that shit, like you just want what you want.
So what age you would go back to?
I would just go back to
around, maybe that's
I would go back to like
specific
6th grade.
6th grade.
The beginning of middle school.
Right.
When you hate everything.
Do you think you would recognize yourself?
Oh yeah.
Like you know,
yeah.
like you're not you right now, but the little kid.
Yeah. I would tell myself.
Would do you think the little kid would the little you would recognize yourself right now as you look right now?
No.
It would be like, you know, when you be scared, like, oh, this bearded uncle.
Yeah, but I would say some personal shit that I would make them know. I would make myself know that it was me.
Maybe
and
you shouldn't tell it's you. Maybe you should like give a.
No, I'd have to tell myself.
Anonymous device, you know.
I'd have to tell myself, because if just some fucking person told me that, I'd be like, shut the fuck up, dude. You're a fucking idiot.
Okay.
But if I was actually myself and I told myself, I'm like, yo, just get through it. I would say give it 2 fucking weeks. 2 weeks of being positive. Not overly positive to where you're joy-filling, like, oh yeah, hell yeah, let's do it all. Now, you don't have to, hey, John, can I borrow 50 bucks? Well, sure, that's not the fucking positive I'm talking. I'm not talking about being a pushover. I'm just talking about being positive about all the things that you have to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Things that you need to do to live in this world. Be positive about them. And you will turn into a different person. People will envy you.
Great. Let's be positive. That was a great interview. Thank you, man. Like,
yeah,
positive, man.
I'm still not like that. I fucking hate people. But